Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Our top story tonight, we're just one day away now from the opening ceremony of the World Rowing Championships.
1,700 athletes from around the world are wrapping up their final practices ahead of the races, and local businesses are also finishing up those last-minute preparations as thousands of visitors make their way to the Suncoast. ABC 7's Erica Jackson explains how local restaurants are getting ready for the big event.
Having events like this in the area is one of the most exciting times for us.
The Kawa Coffee team makes their fair share of drinks on any given day, but starting Saturday, their daily total will be well in the thousands.
It's a lot of coffee that we're providing. You know, we're talking about 1,200 to 2,000 cups a day at least.
And to prepare for that big boost, Kawa co-owner Raphael Perrier has additional staff members traveling from its St. Petersburg and Tampa locations. Those extra cups will be handed out to staff and volunteers behind the scenes. And visitors can get their cup of joe from Kawa's mobile food truck with its logo front and center.
I think having the name out there is the main thing for us. It's you know, every time you're involved with an event like that, it's good for a brand.
It's beneficial to business. I think it's beneficial for the whole community.
But Tommy Klauber's contribution does not only benefit his business. The Polo Grill and Fete Catering feeds 250 athletes 3 meals per day. Klauber says each rower eats about twice as much as a regular adult, so the team is catering to their 6,000 calorie diets.
We want them to feel at home when they come here. We want them to know that Sarasota is a great place.
It takes 50 employees to cook for the athletes staying at 4 hotels, about a 60% increase compared to normal daily operations at the Polo Grill and Fete Catering. The group will feed them through the end of the World Rowing Championships, preparing them for the race of a lifetime.
When we feel like they're walking out the door happy and ready, we feel like we've done our job.
That's Erica Jackson reporting. When the World Rowing Championships end on October 1st, our temporary residents, the Snowbirds, will start returning around that time. The businesses we talked to say this is just a preview of the busy season, which will likely run through the spring.
Well, 2 weeks after Hurricane Irma, the city of Northport is looking back at what they did right and what could be improved. Public safety officials credit social media with being a great tool for getting in touch with their residents before, during, and after the storm. But there was a great deal of flooding, and the fire chief says the city should look into how that could be avoided in the future.
We've been improving the system for years, and we actually handled a lot more capacity than we ever did before, but still had flooding. You get 8 inches in a 12-hour period. There's not too much you can do.
The city is able to completely empty their drainage system. However, it did still flood.
Irma debris may take longer to remove than previously thought. According to Sarasota emergency management officials, the Suncoast is experiencing a shortage of companies that are willing to remove the tons of yard waste left behind by the storm. County has a standing contract with a company for the removal, but that company is having a hard time finding subcontractors to do the work. That's because those workers are going to other areas of the state where they'll get paid more for debris removal.
About the debris, Sarasota County as well as several other counties brought up our issues that we're having. Just 2 days ago, Crowder Golf had 6 resources, 6 more trucks coming into our area. They saw the amount of debris here and they left our area to move south because of the collection rates.
Sarasota County pays about $8 per cubic yard compared to some areas that are paying contractors up to $18 per the same amount of waste. Right now there are 11 trucks removing debris throughout the county. The county is trying to add more trucks and is asking for the community's patience in the meantime.
I've certainly seen a lot of piles building up across neighborhoods.
They're everywhere, yeah. And I think everyone's ready for them to disappear at some point, but we'll have to wait and see how long it'll take. Let's get a check now on our Friday evening weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, a lot of homeowners associations giving breaks to the residents there because of all the trash out there. Friday night, I mow around my 2 piles, actually, but got the grass cut anyway because the weather's been pretty nice. But things are starting to change now a little bit. More moisture coming back into play. Look at all this rainfall along the Atlantic here, just along the east coast of Florida. All that moisture kind of working its way gradually in our direction. Showers and storms have been spotty across Sarasota and Manatee counties this afternoon. Northport had a brief shower near Venice, had a little bit of rainfall right there. But look at that heavy rain down south near the Punta Gorda. This is all kind of moving off toward the west at this point. And you can see this is kind of building up and then drifting off to the northwest. So expect more showers to develop here in Manatee and Sarasota counties over the next hour. And we see some rainfall as well just to our north. Currently, we have sunshine, 89 degrees, 74 on the dew point. The heat index up there at 98, winds out of the north-northwest at 13, and the pressure fairly low at 29.84 inches. Well, Maria is still out there, but thankfully it's not impacting any land at this point as it moves off to the north and impacting land directly, I should say, around the eye. Obviously still causing problems to the Turks and Caicos with some heavy wind and also some rainfall, but the center core is well away from land right now, moving away from the Dominican Republic as well after bringing heavy rainfall there. The latest from the National Hurricane Center, still a Category 3 storm with 125-mile-an-hour winds. Its gusts are up to 155. It's moving to the north-northwest at 9. We'll let you know about the future path and track of this storm and where it may be heading coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Hurricane Maria continues to march north, impacting more inhabited islands.
We have aerial footage of Puerto Rico and some of the damage left behind by Maria. Millions are still in the dark there, now in need of the most basic supplies to try to recover.
ABC's Elizabeth Herr has more on the volunteers and supplies being mobilized across the U.S. to help.
Days after Hurricane Maria pummeled Puerto Rico, rescues are continuing around the clock. With the National Guard wading through waist-deep water, pulling residents out of flooded homes, the Coast Guard plucking this stranded family from their overturned boat, and the Navy flying evacuees out of the U.S. Virgin Islands. All of this as those who survived Maria's wrath grow desperate for help.
We need diesel for the generator. We need light. We need water.
This is personal. This is a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo among those answering that call, taking supplies down to Puerto Rico to help with the recovery.
Anything this state can do for Puerto Rico, we will do.
And with multiple airlines now resuming flights to the island, Puerto Ricans in Florida are also on the way, some with generators and food.
Because in the island, no have anything. No communication. Oh, it's so bad in Puerto Rico.
Search dogs from California also joining the mission. Their goal, help rescuers find people still missing.
A lot of stuff's knocked down, trees are down, so it looks like it could be a lot of climbing and a lot of area to cover for the dogs.
And now that Puerto Rico has been declared a federal disaster zone, FEMA is also there providing the region with food, water, generators, and temporary shelters. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
4 Bradenton children who were the subject of an Amber Alert this week have been found safe in Alabama. 2 guests at a Hampton Inn in Eufaula, Alabama, recognized the children in the lobby and then called police. Their mother is now in jail.
The local authorities got there in a hurry and figured out that, yes, these are the children that the Amber Alert was issued for.
Their mother, Haima Jadon, is being held in Alabama on a charge of aggravated battery and interference with child custody. She does not have legal custody of her children. The kids are now in temporary care in Alabama until they can be returned to Manatee County.
A former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy is facing another charge while he awaits trial. Prosecutors have added a charge of kidnapping for Frank Bybee, who is already facing charges including attempted murder and theft. Bybee was arrested back in January after a 79-year-old woman claimed he stole thousands of dollars from her and then tried to kill her. Bybee has denied those charges and he goes on trial next week.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the search for survivors at a school in Mexico collapsed by a deadly earthquake takes a turn.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Then we'll tell you about what the World Health Organization is calling a growing danger around the world in your Health Smart.
We were watching ABC 7 News.
We kept getting the information we needed along the way, and it did help us prepare.
When they were showing the eye, I started to realize, okay, we better take some precautions.
We were able to look at the My Suncoast app and get the weather updates.
We stayed informed during the storm.
It makes a big difference having the information that you need in a time of stress.
Bob and John Scalzi, both of them. They're my favorites.
It helped a lot to have you guys reporting for us.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No smile.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
First responders, the military, and countless volunteers continue to claw their way through the rubble of crumbled buildings all across central Mexico. And as ABC's Carlos Granda tells us, the death toll is now nearing 300.
Several more people were reportedly rescued today, but as the search for survivors stretches into another day, the need to locate and rescue those trapped beneath piles of rubble grows more dire. Throughout the city, rescuers raising their arms above their heads in a gesture now grown familiar, signaling for silence, repeated over and over again. And for anxious families, the wait for news, any news, is excruciating.
No, es mi hijo.
My good son, says this woman, his dream is to become an accountant. That mother waiting with her husband for 2 days at this site. Rescuers hoping to find the 40 people trapped there alive. Among the biggest disappointments, the dashing of a dearly held belief that a young girl was alive caught inside her collapsed school. That child becoming a symbol of hope, only to learn there was no student. The only person still missing there is a school employee.
We did our best to locate any type of survivors, and unfortunately at this point we are not getting any type of live scent.
At least 60 people have been rescued since that 7.1 earthquake hit midday Tuesday. If there are no serious injuries, experts say that those trapped under the rubble can usually live for a week or more, helping raise their chances of survival, access to water, oxygen, and something to help regulate temperature, such as a blanket. But with nighttime temperatures in the 50s and bouts of drenching rain, the risk of life-threatening hypothermia grows, and that has the medical community and loved ones worried. In Mexico City, I'm Carlos Granda, ABC News.
One Florida county is canceling its plans for aerial mosquito spraying after receiving hundreds of complaints from concerned citizens. Instead of spraying the insects from the air, Clay County crews instead will use 2 trucks to spray insecticide along 1,400 miles of roads. NALED, the product that they plan to use in the aerial spraying, is EPA approved, but officials wanted to be responsive to the local concern for safety. Since Hurricane Irma's floodwaters, many people have complained about mosquito infestations. To avoid something similar here, drain containers holding water in your yard, throw out any debris where water could collect, and repair those torn screens to keep the insects from coming indoors.
Certainly some great tips there to keep those mosquitoes out of the way.
Yeah, I know my wife was getting bit today. We were doing some cleanup still around the house and outside, and I had long pants on and a long shirt, didn't get bit. So that's another, it's got to be loose fitting, obviously, you know, and then.
You were in the mood for fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Long sleeves, right?
You guys felt it. It came in right
yeah.
at 4:02. It's huge. Fall is here now. It is officially fall. The autumnal equinox has occurred. Summer is over, and now that occurred right at 4:02 this afternoon. And so you saw the big drop in temperature, didn't you? No, not really. Summer is over. The sun's direct rays now are right over the equator, and now it's going to be heading southbound. Those direct rays will be heading into the southern hemisphere, into the Tropic of Capricorn. They had been up into the Tropic of Cancer all summer long for the past several months here. Now, as far as we're concerned, we'll see showers and storms still about as a result of the heat of the day tomorrow. Rain chance is fairly high tomorrow. Liquid Ranch webcam review showing some clouds out there gathering now, and they're starting to see cumulus congestus, so to speak, and that's what happens when we start to see storms building up, and you see a lot of moisture off into the Atlantic right now, and some of that moisture will work its way in our direction. Already starting to see that down in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, heading off toward Northport right now. This is a pretty big line of storms here. Some very heavy rainfall on I-75 into Charlotte County. Right there near Punta Gorda, heading off toward Charlotte and into Port Charlotte. Northport has had a brief shower or two. And not much going on into Sarasota County with the exception of that one lone shower right there, but the coastal locations are remaining clear. This one was around a little bit. Some dry air just to the northwest of us, limiting that activity, but notice these storms right here progressing to the southwest at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. So the atmosphere is a little bit unstable. We have some moisture, especially into South Sarasota County, and pretty good chances of getting some showers and storms scattered about through this evening. You can see that dry air just to the north of Tampa Bay right now, and then it's separated with the moisture coming in from the southeast at this point. So expect a good deal of scattered storms tomorrow afternoon and evening as well. 89 degrees right now, sunshine, and the heat index high up there, 98, winds out of the northwest at 13. The pressure's falling right now, and the forecast for Saturday calling for temperatures to start off into the low 70s. And will warm up into the upper 80s with showers and storms becoming rather numerous in the afternoon and evening. Rain chance fairly high at 60%. Now, as Maria pulls away from the islands here, it's still causing some heavy rainfall in the Turks and Caicos. The heavy rain has, for the most part, ended now in the Dominican Republic as well as into Puerto Rico, although there are still some storms around, not really associated with Maria as it pulls off toward the north. Still a very healthy-looking storm system at this point, a Category 3, a major hurricane, and it appears that it will miss the central and northern Bahamas with the heavy winds. The strong winds, though, will be focused right along that core, but there's no land area there. As it moves off to the north, the winds will still drop a little bit up to 110 miles an hour by Sunday afternoon, and then it progresses even further off to the north. And there's still a chance, there's a large bubble here indicating that this storm could be almost anywhere with inside here. The most favored area is right there toward the center of that line. Now, as far as the spaghetti models go, most of the reliable models are suggesting this northerly turn and then a northeasterly turn over on into Sunday and Monday. A couple still keep it close to the Mid-Atlantic coast states and close to the Northeast, but I think major impacts will be generally the high surf created by this and very windy conditions over much of the Northeast. As far as the post-tropical storm Jose, not much left of it out there. It's going to be absorbed, it looks like, by by Maria as it comes on by. Winds will be out of the east-northeast at 10 to 15 knots. It'll be a light to moderate chop, so it will be a little bit breezier than it has been. Seas running right around 2 feet for boaters, and the water temperature at 85 degrees. Expect a good deal of scattered showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon and evening. There could be an isolated cell in the morning, but most of the action will be later in the day. Low tide upcoming 9:05. And sunset will be at 7:26. The forecast, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies this evening. Showers and storms scattered about up until about 9, 10 o'clock. And then tomorrow, 60% chance for storms in the afternoon. That's fairly high. Partly cloudy conditions in the morning, becoming mostly cloudy in the afternoon. The extended forecast calling for that chance for rain again and fall. We've already had it. Nonetheless, we'll see drier conditions throughout the work week next week. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to first alert traffic. Drivers heading north on I-75 are seeing some delays right around the University Parkway exit. That's a busy area, as you know, for the next week or so. So expect some delays if you're heading that way.
In health news tonight, drug-resistant infections are becoming a growing danger around the world, with about 2 million Americans becoming infected every year by bacteria that have some level of resistance to antibiotics. And as Kim Hutcherson reports, the World Health Organization says there aren't enough new antibiotics being made to combat that threat.
A report from the World Health Organization says there aren't enough new antibiotics being created to fight infections that are resistant to multiple drugs. Some commonly used antibiotics become less effective or ineffective over time, making treatment more difficult and more expensive. The report says that as of May, just 51 new antibiotics were in development. Only 33 of those target priority pathogens, the bacteria that pose the greatest threat to human health. And of those 33 potential medicines, only 8 are really new. The rest are simple modifications to existing drugs. The WHO report also says that because the development process is very slow, it's likely drug resistance will develop more quickly than new drugs are approved. The World Health Organization has set up a partnership to address the problem. It's also working to improve infection control and developing guidance for healthcare professionals on the responsible use of antibiotics. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
The Food and Drug Administration is also issuing a new warning over the dangers of combining medication for opioid addiction with anti-anxiety medicines. While treating opioid addiction with medication can be crucial to curbing its effects, it can also be very dangerous. Mixing such drugs can cause difficulty breathing, coma, or even death. The FDA recommends that doctors develop detailed treatment plans and warn patients about the dangers of taking multiple drugs that depress brain activity. Still to come on your Suncoast News, pumpkin panic, a crash that sent dozens of pumpkins rolling across I-75. Plus, a mystery solved, what caused the neon green water in Louisiana, coming up.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I dropped it on the floor, and he stepped on it.
No matter how you broke your smartphone, there's only one smart way to fix it. Batteries plus bulbs. Schedule your repair at batteriesplus.com.
It's Lincoln Summer Sales Event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41. Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Well, with the beginning of fall, some people are already thinking ahead to Halloween and what kind of decorations to put up around their home.
But if you plan on decorating, just be aware of how people may react to some of those gruesome displays. So maybe don't do what this guy did. That body in the driveway right there is actually clothing stuffed with paper. But for neighbors, seeing it from a distance, it seemed all too real. Authorities receiving a frantic 911 call about a possible gruesome crime scene.
I thought it was somebody. I thought somebody was laying up there on the driveway. I told them what happened, and they said, we'll send somebody out to check it.
Oh my, well, what started out as a joke went a little too far on that incident.
Oh boy, sure did. Fortunately, local law enforcement were good sports about the incident, posting a message on Halloween decor on its Facebook page, telling residents to congratulate the homeowner on a great display and not to call 911. A shipment of pumpkins in Pasco County are looking a bit scarier than usual this time of year. That's after a trailer hauling the gourds collided with a guardrail on I-75 early this morning. The truck then exploded, spilling the burning pumpkins onto the interstate. The fire damaged the southbound lanes of I-75, which will have to be repaved. Troopers are urging drivers to seek alternative routes. By the way, the driver was not hurt. The pumpkins, however, were not so fortunate.
Well, take a look at this video as well. It shows neon green water in Louisiana that is causing more than a few concerns over the purity of the area's drinking water. The video surfaced on Wednesday, leaving people wondering what kind of strange chemical could cause that coloring. Turns out it's just that, green coloring. Officials say a nearby refinery recently built a new tank and needed to test it for leaks, so they then put green food coloring in the water. It turns out there is obviously a leak. The green coloring is non-toxic and not harmful to the wildlife, and it is expected to work its way out of the water in a few days.
Some television viewers in Southern California got a shock Thursday when their shows were interrupted by an anonymous message about the end of the world. The mysterious alert playing for Spectrum and Cox Cable providers. A spokesman for Cox Cable says viewers should have seen a typical emergency broadcast test, but a technical malfunction caused it to go on longer than it should have. He says the broadcast picked up an audio feed that bled into the alert. Cable companies are now investigating.
I have a lot of family and friends who live in Southern California, and I saw some of their Snapchats showing that alert, and a lot of them thought the end of the world was coming.
I think somebody's up to a little shenanigans there.
Certainly.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, Hurricane Irma bringing big business for tree removal companies.
What you should consider when cleaning up all that mess.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Celebrate the end of summer with big savings during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or save big on a new sleek and stylish Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Drive off today for your next great adventure in a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Will-A-Mania.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me. Oh, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.